Hello, Goans. The entire narrative around the spate of robberies and dacoities and even murders all across Goa in the bloody month of November and the preceding month of October has been centered around the role of the robbers, the fact that there has been absolute lawlessness, and the absolute brazenness by which these dacoits and robbers and organized gangs have been committing uh, their acts of robbery and dacoity. But the problem here is that the narrative should ideally be on the state system, the law and order machinery, the policing, the investigation, which has actually failed completely, not on one count but on multiple counts, not only now but over the years. This is not the time to only raise questions about why the Santinez daring robbery has not been solved. It is not about how the attempted robbery in Cancun happened. These are all symptoms of a larger disease which is spreading throughout Goa, and the disease is organized lawlessness and completely uh, uh, one wouldn't say backed by, but one can dare say that this organized lawlessness has actually happened because the system, the law and order machinery, and the policing especially has either been absolutely inefficient. There has been an abject surrender to the miscreants and to those who've been committing these dacoities and robberies. And more importantly, one should also look at the structure of policing, the fact that the entire system of beat policing has taken an absolute beating, as it were. Uh, the point here is that either there are no informer systems. Secondly, the policing is so weak that people don't necessarily come to the police with information. And thirdly, and more importantly, the larger disease of elements in the police being complicit in these crimes either directly or indirectly, in the sense that one is not saying they are committing the crimes, but in many of these cases there is enough and more information to suggest that the details about these robbers, the details about this policing, is something that is not unknown to many of the cops. At the same time, look at the manner in which these dacoities have been committed. Look at the Santinez incident, for instance. There was this mother who, in the late morning, mid afternoon, went to pick up her child from school. The gap between this lady leaving her house to she coming back was about half an hour. In 20 minutes flat, they actually came in. The thieves came in. They robbed 15 lakh cash, jewelry, Mangal Sutra, and not only that, uh, the escape of this thief was caught on not one but more CCTV cameras. He was seen kind of moving towards Poruri as well. And this lady says that till now we don't have actual headway nor a tangible solution to this case, which obviously means that this particular thief knew the whereabouts of this woman, her movements, the fact that she would leave the house at a particular time to pick up a child. Now this cannot be an activity of some fly by night thief. These are either organized gangs who have absolute local inputs. So the khabris are not giving any khabar to the police, but they're actually giving khabar to these robbers. As far as the Vasco incident is concerned, I mean, in the middle of the night, they not only committed a blatant dacoity, but they actually threatened people, and they were extremely brazen about this. So these are just one or two incidents that have really shaken the belief of the people in this whole law and order system. There are so many of these cases that continue to add up on every given day. In November, in fact, there were about three, four, five major incidents. There were three cases. There were three dacoity cases in 6 months. In addition to that, there were these multiple break-in cases and robbery cases that I just about spoke of. In addition to that, from April onwards, this is not just an October-November phenomenon. From April onwards, there was the bungalow dacoity in Donna Paula and the Dempo family. that happened on the 20th of April, where masked men broke into a bungalow, tied up an elderly couple, removed the DVRs and CCTVs. 6 months later, that case is still not solved. Then you had triple murders in the Mapsa area. One decomposed body was found in the river. One male body was found in a suitcase under a bridge. The motive and the accused is still not known. Case happened in 2014. Then, of course, this gold theft from a apartment in Ake. Apartment door broken, family was away, gold chains, Mangal Sutra picked up, baby's bangles stolen, no arrest report. Robbery of 5 shops in Panjim, in the Jesuit House Lane in Panjim. 10th April 2025. Thieves broke into 5 shops, stole cash, valuables worth 1.5 lakhs, some suspects arrested, case listed as unsolved. Then, of course, we go back to even more gruesome case. In 28-29, the death of Siddhi Nayak. Have we reached a conclusion as to who killed her? There are enough theories being given about as to who did not kill her. Do we still know who killed her? 2008, 2009. This girl died under mysterious circumstances. Body cremated, hurriedly. No further investigation. Case handed over to the crime branch. Father kept on fighting. No result. Then in 2022, in South Goa, skeleton remains of a pregnant woman were found in Ambeghat, in Sange. Now, among the 25 murders filed in 2022, the majority of them remain unsolved. Now, you look at an armed hostage dacoity at a doctor's house in Mapsa, Dr. Ganekar's home, very well-known doctor. This happened in the early hours of 2025. Armed hostage dacoity. 7 masked men tied up 4 family members. Looted cash and gold worth 35 lakhs. Investigation going on. Status unsolved. By and large, these are multiple robberies, and we have a complete ecosystem of unsolved cases. So the point here is, what are the questions being asked? Who's been brought to task? You can transfer 34 PIs and 6 DYSPs, but will that actually solve? Recently, in a press conference, when one police officer was asked, by when are you going to solve these cases? There was really no answer. When this lady from Santinez asked the investigating officer, by when will I get some kind of information about my case, and by when will it be solved? And she even mentioned the media is talking about it, everybody is talking about it. And do you know the answer she got? The answer she got from the police is, will the media get your robbed stuff back? So the idea is that this kind of nonchalance, this kind of attitude, which is absolutely despicable, it is absolutely uncalled for, unacceptable. This is something that's happening in Goa. The right questions are not being asked, and only lip service is being given towards taking action. Now you see, there is a trend in these kind of incidents. You cannot call them isolated incidents. You cannot call them stray incidents in slum areas. There is actually a spatial spread of these incidents all across Goa. From Kankan in the south to Santa Cruz, Donapaula, Mapsa, Baina, all across. The state is pockmarked with these cases. Secondly, the victims are not just like middle class, low middle class, slum area people. There has been no discrimination. In fact, people from all localities, high-end localities in the heart of Goa's biggest cities are falling victims. Very well-known families are falling victims. Family of a well-known industrialist, family of a well-known doctor, a house in Santinez, a complete upmarket locality in Panjim. None of these people or areas are spared by these dacoit and robbery gangs who are running riot and are moving around absolutely freely with all the information in their command, the information that the police do not have. Secondly, whenever you see these trends, you'll see some cases where you have a cluster of these incidents happening in one area, which obviously means that these gangs are coming, operating in one area, moving out, then picking up another cluster of places, going ahead. This pattern has not been caught, but that's a pattern. Then if you see the entire escalation in the audacity of the crime, This daylight operation in Santa Cruz in around 11 o'clock in the morning, this is absolutely brazen. And this happens in 20 minutes. High-rise upper floor in Baina, where so many people are living. You enter a multi-story building, there is security, there are people living. You go target one house and come back, literally at gunpoint. Then there is another major issue that I wanted to flag, that there is an investigation deficit. There is really no enthusiasm or no professional will to tackle these cases on a war footing and close them. There are multiple reports that have noted delays. There are accused still at large. There are CCTV footage which has not been worked on. And also at the same time, if you see, of course, the opposition is speaking about it, the press is speaking about it. There are multiple editorials, as they should be. But is it moving the government? Is it moving the law and order machinery? There has been an administrative churn, as it were. The SP of North Goa has been transferred. And of course, Mr. Harish Madkekar, who has been brought in, undoubtedly, his track record is good. But the point is, it is not just about one person, it is about the system. And when this happens, then ultimately people lose faith, and people have already lost faith. Goa was never a land where people feared robbery, feared dacoity, feared deaths in this kind of a manner. People left their homes open in the 50s and the 60s, and even later than that. People left their homes open. Houses in large parts of Goa, especially in the villages, never saw their doors being shut, even at night. People left their cars open. I mean, car open in the sense they left the cars sometimes with the keys inside. Nobody dared to come in. Life was very, very different. Life was very simple. Why is this happening? Is this happening because the demographics have changed and you have a huge influx of migrants who are committing? We don't know. It is easy to blame the migrants. Possibly they have a role to play. But at the end of the day, migrant or not, if the law and order machinery is a deterrent, then these dacoities don't happen. All these days, when the Bihar elections was going on, the entire narrative around the Bihar elections was stop Jungle Raj. The NDA's entire narrative and the JDU's entire narrative in Bihar was please vote for us to stop RJD's Jungle Raj, to stop Lalu Prasad Yadav's Jungle Raj. They won in Bihar, not largely, but at least significantly due to the Jungle Raj campaign. Of course, there were other reasons there. I don't know why people bought it. What about the Jungle Raj in Goa? What will you call this if not Jungle Raj? What is Jungle Raj? Jungle Raj is when there is no law of the land, the law of the jungle prevails. Might becomes right. Whoever is the most powerful, and especially if the beast is more powerful, that beast wins. Jungle Raj is the law of the forest, and it is a law which actually is no law. The most iconic, specific symbol of lawlessness is called Jungle Raj. And it is that Jungle Raj which is happening in Goa today. There is no safety. There is no feeling of being comfortable. There is an unease. People look over their shoulders. People don't keep valuables and belongings at home. Goa was a very inclusive society. Everybody knew everybody. The shopkeeper knew you. The poder knew you. At the Tinto, everybody knew each other by their names. Their families were known. It was a comfort of being at home, irrespective of which village or which little town you were in. That comfort has all gone. You are no longer in the land of your own. You are now in a land of strangers. You are in the land of those who you do not know. You are in the land where you feel vulnerable. You as locals feel vulnerable. And this is the biggest tragedy of Goa today. We need to solve this. It has gone beyond just a law and order issue. It's become a societal issue. It's become the issue of life and livelihoods in Goa. It has become an issue of how Goa once was and what it has become. These are not ordinary robberies. These are trends of a state which is which just does not have control. And that is what we are sad about. Let us look at this clearly. Let us buck the trend. Let us have a policing system which surely needs infrastructure. It needs better vehicles to chase robbers. It needs better use of technology. It needs CCTVs that work. But more importantly, it needs dedicated officers who will pursue the case to its end without being diverted or without not wanting to chase a particular case and letting some other case take over. We cannot have so many skeletons in so many cupboards with no hope for closure. Goa deserves better. Thank you.